The snowstorm, the big mass snow blow has pretty much come to an end, and it's just cold and snowy. Of course, there's snow on the ground everywhere, all around. Today, we are going to use a chainsaw and a few other electrical tools to make ourselves an elk hanging piece. You can see that elk right there. We're going to start out with using a chainsaw, and actually, that'll be most of the work will be done with a gas power tool, and we'll go from there. I also was looking here to figure out if I should get this thing plugged in before I get going, but I think it'll be okay for a while because this is not really a long carving, but it's a fun carving. It's challenging, but it's fun. This is a relief carving. We got to poke through one, two, three, four, five, six different places that we got to go clear through on top of shaping this thing. So I'm looking forward to it. This will be the second one of these I made. Why would I make a second one? Because I sold the first one. That makes sense, right? All right, let's see if we can get this saw. Hey, look at this. Got snow all over it. Can you believe that? Okay, baby. Hang out, Clark. We're going to get this done. You're going to enjoy it. You hit the like button. We'll do the rest. All right. Now, if you're asking yourself, why would this guy be outside using a chainsaw, making art and singing and double digit weather? I'm nuts. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be single digit weather later, so I'd rather get it done now, right? You might be wondering why I start this so late. Because I decided to go deer hunting. I still have a deer tag, and I didn't even start deer hunting until January. I went one time in December, and that was it. But anyway, I seen 5 little bucks. I just let them all go. And it was up here above the house. So anyway, we'll keep carving. That's why we're out here so late today. But we got to make stuff. It's just the way it is. Shape, kind of basic shape. I'll probably clean it up here more, but I can't right now because I run the risk of hitting the jaw bite. So we'll start cutting out these big pieces here a little bit at a time. too. You know, I never elk hunted in my life, but I've deer hunted quite a bit. Why don't I just make a deer? Well, I'll tell you, the elk looks good. It's a really cool piece. I mean, they come out looking really cool and people like them. So, you know, I mean, whatever. And I think it looks good. So I like making it. Yeah, so that's it. It's a relief carving. I got holes like this to punch. I got 5 more holes to punch. Now these ones down here, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I might punch them through, because if so, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'd be quite a bit more. But those are awful tight, and I could blend them in versus doing that. But that's gonna look good. I mean, you get an idea, the general back shape of it. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the like if you haven't already. And we'll keep right on going. If I can get that in there where you can see it a little better. I don't know. We'll try. Now I pulled the leg out from under me. Yeah. Good job, man. I look cool. All right, so there's another big piece out. Keep that piece out. Getting there with the neck, but you know, I gotta clean some of this up. It's awful straight in the back, but it just takes time. You just gotta work your way through it. It is what it is. Anyway, do me a favor, hit that like if you haven't already. We'll keep right on and going. good. You can see that coming out of there. I just got to trim some back here, and we'll curve that mouth off a little bit, but you can see it coming out. I mean, you can see what it's going to be, and that's pretty cool. We're always glad to do that. All right, we'll keep going. Y'all hit the like. It's very encouraging. A little bit at a time. It's not too bad for a duck carving. Oh, yeah, that's a duck carving, buddy. Yeah, fooled me. Anyway, appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button, smash the like. We'll keep on going. You can see how far we got. We're already shaping this guy. Got a little bit curved here. We'll cut the mouth in and curve it into some. But dig these, I guess you'd call them horns because it's not a deer. I guess they'd be horns on an elk. I don't know. Anyway, but you can see what's coming next. It looks pretty cool. I'll tell you what. These gloves, I don't know if they're going to cut it because they're they got kind of moist earlier. Hey, I got a dry one over here. It's dirty. It's covered with sawdust, but it's dry. So I'll wear that one. Okay, I was going to say that ham was getting awful cold. Wondering, I am in Siberia. No, I'm in Southeast Ohio, and yeah, we got a lot of snow today. You look out here, you really can't see it for the most part because I've kept it pretty well pushed up and cleaned up. And that actually over there, you can see there's a side-by-side hiding over there. And I'll have to clean this up probably one more time, and then I might hit my neighbors and stuff tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep going with this because this is looking pretty good. You guys hit the like button. We'll keep right on rocking. let me tell you, it doesn't taste good. So whatever kind of pine this is, I don't know. It's some kind of yellow pine of some sort. It's not very flavorful. Punch another hole. This one right here. We got this one and that one that we got to do for sure. I'm not sure about these. I can kind of blend these. I could get by without doing them, and it would just save it from maybe cracking. I don't know. Let's find out. This is fun, but challenging. It is fun, but it is challenging. I'm really enjoying it. You guys hit the like. It looks like we're doing pretty good on them likes so far. 59 in 20 minutes. Heck yeah, we'll take that. Thank you for watching. We'll keep right on rolling. But it's funny because you got to be careful because this piece here is supposed to be layered back in there behind this piece. So that's got to dig it back just a little bit, create that illusion. But it takes a little time. You just push on and do it. It's going to look good in the end. Even if it was a little wonky, people still like it. Second time I've made this particular piece. The first one I made, I sold to a couple. It was September 27th at the Hocking Hills Lodge at Hocking Hills. I think that's South Bloomingville, Ohio, or whatever it is. But that was the first one of these I made, and a couple that newlyweds bought that. They wanted something that was unique for their, while they were on their trip, you know. What? I grew up on the south end of Columbus, Ohio. And I'm telling you, there was something in the water because everybody I know that grew up where I grew up was at least as dumb as I am, if not dumber. Anyway, that's what I got. So I might have to flip him over to try to dig some of that out. We'll see what happens as far as kind of like pulling the horns away from the wood because I want the horns to pop out, like kind of like they're doing right here. So I might have to flip him over to get there to totally get that. But one thing at a time. We got to get this piece out, and that is awful tight. So let's see what happens. You guys hit the like. We'd like to get, what we got, 72 already? Sure be nice to get to 100. If you guys can help us out with that, it'd be really cool. That is so tight. I think I'm going to try to do half of it on this side and half of it on that side and see how it comes out, because otherwise I'm going to end up in the horn. cut that out. So it's like, you know, actually that looks pretty good. I don't really have to clean that up much at all. I have to do a little bit. It kind of looks like in the bathroom, really. But let's do it. Let's get I don't think that's too bad. So I'll dig the face out, and then we'll just start pulling. You know, we want this to pop out from the wood, but still be kind of like in its position it should be in. Uh-oh. Is it on? No, it's off. I never tried that the last time. I just had burred it in so it wouldn't screw it up. And man, it actually come out pretty good. That slit looks really nice. I mean, it looks natural, you know. I mean, so before I go any further with the digging the horns out, I'm gonna go ahead and coat this guy. And he's got a really heavy, like, brush here, brush down through here. It's a little thinner there, but the hair is like really heavy on the side of him. I don't know if it's like winter hair, summer hair, winter hair, summer hair. I don't know. Anyway, remember, if you haven't hit the like already, be sure to hit it. We're trying to get to 100. That is. Getting ready to need some fuel. Let's get this little salt drink. Not doing too bad, not too good. Somewhere in the middle, I can't complain. Especially as cold as it is, it's a wonder any of this crap runs at all. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm looking for my scrunch. I got 3 scrunches, and only one of them was where it belonged. Actually, I got 4 scrunches, and that one went to a saw I'm not even using. So pretty disorganized. I mean, it is what it is. I had a side by side in here yesterday or last night. Had a battery charger on it. I didn't want to have to worry today about having any issues because it seems like when you use the winch a lot, and you got the electric fan, you've got fuel pump, all that stuff running, and it's really cold. So it just seems like sometimes you'll go out when it's really cold and have to push snow, and that thing will die and the battery will be dead. And that's after you've been running it for 10 minutes and just hadn't charged it enough. Um, so if you leave it on a charger when it's cold like this, it just seems like I don't have any issues. So I backed it in here, and so it wouldn't be out in the weather. I backed it in the shanty, covered it up, had the charger on it all night. No problems. I pushed my driveway and one of my neighbors. I'll do the rest of them tomorrow, but it is what it is. I didn't know nobody knew when the snow was going to stop. And I don't want to go around push a whole bunch of people's snow and then have to go back and do it again. So, and some of them will be, man, we don't know what we're going to do. That's what I run into in the past with having a side-by-side with a snow blade, is that, you know, some of your neighbors will be like, man, we didn't know what we were going to do until you showed up. I'll tell you what you were going to do. You were going to get out a shovel and you were going to push it, or you were just going to drive over it and not worry about it. Wanted to, you know. And I mean, in my case, everything we have has four-wheel drive. At least me and the wife. The kids' cars, the boy used to. Well, they both got Hondas now, so they don't have that. So whatever. But me and the wife, we got 3 vehicles. They all got four-wheel drive. So, you know, if they're stuck in the house, whatever. But, you know, they eat all their food and then they don't pay no rent. So would it be worth it? Boy, no, the daughter has just the right. She got an older Honda Accord. It gets her out. I mean, that's normal height. But the boy has a Civic Si, and I don't know what that means. I think it means sucks. I don't know. At least the S part of it means it sucks because it gets stuck. I mean, it sits too low to the ground. He thinks it's special, whatever. But anyhow, if I don't plow the driveway, you know, he's calling, complaining. How am I supposed to come home if you don't plow the driveway? What are you going to do when you move out, buddy? I don't know. I cannot complain about my kids. They're 23 and 17. They get up and go to work every day. The boy's got a pretty decent job. He works for a county municipal place, and the daughter, she works at a little place, but they both get up and go to work every day. I can't complain about that. about you, but I think that looks pretty good. I like it. I'm pretty happy. Give him a little droop in the mouth there like he just had a stroke. Not too bad. All right, you know, I always got to be a character just a little bit, you know. But his nose hole looks good. I appreciate that. What are we up to? 93? Heck yeah. We just need 7 more likes to get to 100. That's what I'm shooting for. If y'all can help me out in achieving that, I'd sure appreciate it. Think if I was able to do that, I should be able to do the rest of these without having to flip that. Because I mean, I just don't like to flip it. So that's got to thin out a little bit to kind of look stagger inside behind this one. The same thing with this one here, you know, thin them back a little. But it is what it is. Hey, we got there. 101 likes. I appreciate you. imagine? So elk are just like 3 times the size of a white-tailed deer, maybe 5 times. I don't know. They're huge. Can you imagine how much food that these guys got to consume a day in order to survive, especially in the weathers, like it is out right now? The whole country's like that. I mean, like it is right now. And just imagine how much food they got to consume to survive. Hey, and here's the thing. They were figuring it out before we come along, right? And our game feeders and all that stuff. Out, and I gotta admit that's going to be a little tricky because I need to come from that way to try to dig this piece out and thin it out and not thin it out too much at the same time and blend it. Man, one of them wood chips hit me in the lip. It was like getting smacked by my mama. I must have deserved it. That's all I can say. Like to do the same thing with these here, just take them back just a little bit more. I think it looked better if they were rounded off a little better, kind of like that. Maybe a little more right here too, without getting too much into him. But man, I mean, he's looking good. If I do say so myself, maybe I'm partial, but I think he's looking really good. wondering what I can do with the saw to kind of bring that out more. I mean, it's kind of, there's only so much you can do to dig back there and make that, you know, try to separate them two pieces. But we're trying. So it's just kind of, it's difficult to get back in there, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. Now look, in my mind, nothing brings a carving alive like giving it its eye. So I think I'm going to work on that next. I want to round this out. I just noticed there's a few pieces here I can still round out, and then first thing I want to do is give it an eyeball. So, first thing I want to do now is give this guy an eyeball. And I think it's going to take 2 burrs to get what I want. But let's find out. The one that's in it is way too small. And what I'm talking about is man-paw eye cutters. I use these little man-paw eye cutters to give him bulbs. Or give him, not balls. Yeah, I'm gonna give him balls. Okay, no, to give him nice eyeballs. Anyhow, yeah, man, you gotta give your elk carving a scrape too, man. Come on, what the heck? Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I told you guys, I grew up on the south end of Columbus. I drank that water, and we're all dumb. Everybody grew up there is dumb. Just the way it is. There's something in the water, I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know any other explanation except for the water, if that makes any sense, right? Okay, I got the burr I want for the eyeball itself. And then we'll probably do one that's like kind of giving some eyelid. I don't know, let's see. So start with this guy. Get me a cord over here that I got plugged into something else. What is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was dressing the 20-inch bar earlier. I had that plugged into a 4.5-inch angle grinder, which I'm going to end up using on this piece. So it's kind of, you know, whatever. Still needs more. Getting there. Heck yeah. Okay, I'm going to give him another kind of ring. Let me see if I can't fix it or get that loud set up. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to give him kind of a, hey, look at there, eyeball. All right, I'm going to give him kind of a ring over that one. It just brings him to life. I mean, makes them look really cool. And I really like these. I wouldn't mind putting one of these in my own house. But I'll tell you what, it'd probably be twice the size. And actually, to be fair, I had planned to make one today that was probably going to be another foot and a half larger. And I was just having a problem out there in that blowing snow. It was blowing, the wind was picking up. And it was just getting to be a hassle trying to get that piece cut out the way I wanted it. So I settled for this one, which still it was plenty big enough for it to fit, you know, and that's important in of itself. All right, let's see. There we go. Yeah, see how I give him kind of like a back eyelid. And I give him a real heavy brow too anyway. All right, there we go. Yeah, I like that. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's time to put some fire to him next. And then we'll see what kind of sanding we end up doing to him. Well, it looks pretty cool. Love it when something like that comes together good. And it didn't take very long. I don't know how long I've been on here. I'll tell you here in a second. I'll walk back over here. Let's see. How long have I been working on this? 54 minutes. Okay, about an hour. Not bad. Enough to get 100 likes. How about that? 115, something like that? I can't read it. 119. Heck yeah, I appreciate that, guys. All right, let's see if we can't torch him, give him some color, clean him up real good, and then we'll sand him afterward, maybe. I don't want to burn my finger off. Okay, look, if I burn my finger off, I don't want you guys to see it. How about that? Is that fair? What the heck? Even with the lighter, I can't get this thing lit. Come on, baby. You don't want your finger in front of the turbo torch even for a second. There it is. Got that out. One day I was trying to get it lit with that stupid striker, you know, and I don't know, I'm gonna be like Michael Jackson. I only got one glove on. It's not fine. Anyway, I was trying to get that thing lit, and it just wasn't working. And I stuck my hand in front of it, the Stihl. I had the headphones still on, and I stuck my hand in front of that thing to see if I felt the gas coming out. Immediately after I tried to strike it, it's a boom, that thing was on, and I didn't notice it. You get your dumb stuff, especially when you're dumb. I mean, if you're dumb to begin with, it makes it all the harder, right? Yeah, let's just try the page from that way. I'll let you guys notice. Pride, when he gets says something, things like that, this thing really misses me. I don't really think. The guy got creative. I'm fortunate to be there. We're all fortunate to be the fastest man. Right. Cut that off. Tell you, in the end, it's still pretty wet. It's still pretty wet. It's just taking a while for that thing to burn. But that said, I got to zip this off. There's a spot there. I don't want to sit there and grind that off. I mean, it'll take me a second with a chainsaw to get rid of it. There's that glove. that piece off, it'll be okay. But anyhow, that is what it is. I think I'll go ahead and clean up the, I don't know. See, so I kind of thought about burning the outer edge and sanding the antlers down and leaving the antlers nice and white. And I don't really know. At the same time, it just seems like the piece of wood's kind of wet. I don't know how good it'll clean up. So maybe I should just sand the whole daggone thing and then reburn it after the fact. So that actually sounds a little more reasonable. But I got to thinking, my my RZ is in the garage at the Flex Carbon station. So I don't know. I probably need to get another one, but I'm not impressed with RZ. I want to try that one that Matt is using. Get it next, see how it does. I do got these, I call them COVID masks. These little, these masks that, you know, the Asian people were wearing when the flu was out and all that stuff. Years before we ever heard of COVID-19, you know, they had these stupid things. And they do work. I will give them that. They do work. But I guess kind of my gripe with, I have to take off my Cousin Eddie hat right here. Okay. I'll put this silly mask on. And see if I can't clean this thing up some. But I like it. I think he looks really good. They come out pretty good. And I guess over my glasses on my glasses won't fall off. And everything wants to fog up. I just these masks are a horrible idea. I don't know. Whatever. Go in the garage, I'll probably come out with a face shield looking like a spaceman before it was all over. Oh, my glasses are sliding off. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Let's clean this up some. Tell you what, if it was just way too wet, or that disc is done. I think the disc is done. If you look at it, it's not that good. Okay, and I have more, so why abuse myself? Change the disc out, right? I'm gonna be at the disco. All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's change this baby out real quick. Can't hurt, right? I'm pushing the button. I push my wife's buttons. Ask her. She'll tell you. Boss lady. You're driving me nuts. Well, that's, you know, I hate to tell you, but somebody has to, right? Otherwise, you'd get bored and die, you know? Just. Why can't you be more sympathetic? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that either. I think it's because I'm a man. I don't know. Let's see. Let me get some. All right. Why can't you take out the bathroom trash? Because I don't put anything in that can. Oh, okay. I don't know if you heard that story, but if you have, it's funny. I don't know. If you haven't, sorry, you missed out. That's a pretty good story. All right. Oh yeah, night and day. depth. I really can't see what I'm doing. But I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I need to clean up more with the finger sander, but I think it's looking pretty good. Uh-oh. Wonder how long it's been like that. Apparently it was a good while. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, I don't know if it blanked out or not. What happens when I hit that 20% threshold and that thing will blank out on me, and I don't even know it until I turn around and look and see it. But anyhow, it needs some finger sanding, and then I'll paint the eye. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, I think this thing, he looks pretty good. I'll have to clean up uh, in here a little bit. And I think I might save this for tomorrow or Tuesday, just whenever I carve again, to do finish work on this after I carve whatever the other piece I carve is. But this is looking pretty good, you know. And I can just kind of show you guys these big snow drifts I made out here. All right, let's see. Let me get this up. See who all we got here. Let's see. What's going on, baby kisses? Hi, Greg. How you doing? Michael S. Super fan. Artsy Doodles. How you doing? Glad to see you. Heck yeah. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. I have to do some finger sanding to clean him up. Hey, Matthew. I appreciate that, man. Um, have to do some of you might remember me making that one like this before. It was back in the summertime. I made one like that. And let's see. So that was the piece we made yesterday. Oh, you can't really see the fish, so I got it sitting there. But you know, still a few things in here. Now, y'all probably remember, I carried some pieces into the garage the other day with every intent to do. Hey, Norm, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Michael, thank you for that. I had every intention of finishing those pieces. It's like 6 or 7 pieces I took in there. I haven't touched them. And to tell you the truth, I don't think I'm going to, because it's so cold. It's too cold to paint. I got all the paint inside, the clear coat's inside, and I could do it, but anyhow, it made some pretty good snow piles. I actually buried the jars back there in the lean-to, and the kids' cars is inside a garage, you know. But I made some giant piles out here. Today is pretty good time, you know. But you look out there, you can see it. You know, I don't know. I think we got 8 inches. It's not nearly as dramatic, I think, as they said. I don't know. But whatever. Not too bad, not too good. But that's what I got to offer. Yeah, Drifter. Yeah. Too cool to build a snowman. I'm not interested in that. Hey, thanks, Norm. And hey, check out Norm, man. He has a live stream bird feeders. He has them blackbirds with they look like crows, but they're you got the real long tails. I don't think they're crows. They got them real long tails, but you know, he has a little bit of everything coming in there. So check Norm out, man. He's live stream bird feeder. It's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, and in the woods, you know, in the meadow, we could build a snowman, but we're not going to. We're going to sit in the house and burn some wood. And that's what I got. We'll do 72 minutes. Hey, that's not too bad. An hour and 12 minutes. Not too bad. I mean, hey, Raja Bendigo Hana, check him out too. Awesome wood turner, awesome worker, makes shovel and tool handles all the time. Here's what we got, Raja, right there, made of elk. I ought to take you guys. Hello, how you doing? I'd like to take you guys for a ride on the side-by-side, but I'd probably lose signal. I'd say, I don't know. And we did that. I actually did. You guys tell me if you're interested. So my day today, me and the boss lady took the side-by-side because they're in level 3 snow emergency, and I figured, well, if we got this plow on a side-by-side, the cops ain't gonna say nothing. Not that they're gonna say anything anyway, but just to be safe, everybody's all worried about it, you know. So I videoed the ride back. It's a mile and a half from here to the gas station, and stopped, and on our way back, we plowed half a driveway till we got up here. And then when I about 4:45, I went up and got in my deer blind. Immediately, I spooked 2 does out of there, and I had 5 deer come out. Would any of you guys be interested in seeing a long form video like that? Hey, I appreciate that. You're eating? Heck yeah. Hey, Woodchucker, what's going on? Check out Woodchucker. Makes awesome chainsaw. He carved ET. Phone home. Heck yeah. When he's running away, you know, it's pretty cool. But anyway, Norm says, yeah, he'd like to see that. Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Baby kisses, yeah. And then I told the boss lady, I said, you know, I've got a lot of deer footage just from watching deer. I wonder if people would want to see that. You know, nothing died, you know, disclaimer. There was this deer came in, and yes, I was hunting, but I didn't kill anything. And I just kind of wondered if people would actually want to see that. You know, you're talking anywhere from 10 to 25 minutes worth of video of that stuff. So I don't know. I might put out a video with a thumbnail that shows me standing in my waist, clear up to my waist in the snow. And I'll say, day in the life of a chainsaw carver in a snowstorm. I don't know. You know what it is. You know what it is. We went to the gas station, you know, to get things that We probably should have already had, knowing a snowstorm was coming, right? Oh, well. All right, guys. Hey, so that's what I got. I got to get this thing moved, and I got to get that side-by-side in there, get it out of the snow. Actually, it's set out here, so I pulled it over here before I went up there and got my deer blind. And look at that. Yeah, gonna get a wet butt. That's the way it is. Wet windshield. I mean, I can pop this open, but man, that's a cold ride there, buddy. Let me tell you. I don't know. But I would plow some snow. I just don't know. I don't know how to hold the phone in there. They don't have no cradle for it. And then the other thing would be the battery's getting low. I don't know. It might sit in that little. I can't turn it like that though. Here. Yeah. Hey, how about that? There we go. I doubt it'll stay there, but it's sitting there. Let's see if this thing will start, because it gets wonky when it gets this cold. You just never know. Oh, that's out. Well, I ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. We can have a good time. I gotta wipe my seat off though. You can't really see the plow or nothing. That's the downside of it. But I don't know. Get this thing. Boy, I tell you, it sucks getting old. Here lately, I've been like on a weight gaining binge. I don't know. I like food, you know. I mean, probably more than the next guy, you know. Uh-oh, that didn't work. I was afraid that wouldn't work. Glad I didn't crack the screen. It is what it is. Gonna have to hold on to it if I'm gonna do it. Huh? You can't really see. You can't really see what I'm doing anyway. Oh, it's funny stuff. Okay. Here, I'll probably have to turn some lights on. How about that? Let's turn the light on. There we go. I'm not going to go all the way down because sometimes it'll stay hooked up to the Wi-Fi extender and sometimes it won't. And if it don't, then I'm going to regret it. I can tell you that. It's a hassle to get your video. Yeah, I dropped the phone. I can't do both. I'd have to have this rigged up for this purpose. Not that I can't do it, but it ain't gonna happen instantly at night. You know what I mean? Okay. Turn her back around and go back to the house. Yeah, it's probably 8-9 inches. I don't know. I'm not getting stuck in it. You know, I mean, not that catastrophic, is it? Oh well. Kind of is what it is. All right, guys. So that's what I got. You know, a little bit of chaos out here. Maybe next time I decide to get side by side out and push snow, I'll wire that thing up so it's got some way to sit in there, and you can kind of see what's going on. But other than that, I got to put this thing up. Yeah, I'm making all kinds of racket. Let's see. Did I crack the screen? I hope not. Nope. Just yeah, I've fallen and I can't get up, Michael. No doubt. All right. Hey, y'all have a good night. We might catch you guys tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday. We'll figure it out. I appreciate you guys being here. Come back when you can stay later, you smart.